Now that you're ready to get into the embroidery part of your new machine, let's take a look at what came with your machine along with the accessories. So first off, you have the largest hoop your machine will take. On the bottom side right here, it's going to say 260 by 200. You're going to start to learn these numbers. What's nice, they're always written on the hoops. Your other hoop size is a 120 by 120. We're going to also show you in a separate video the art of hooping your fabric. Now, speaking of hooping your fabric, just one thing, this does not come with your machine, but it's one thing I highly recommend, are the templates. So when you're actually trying to hoop in a certain area, like putting an embroidery right here on your garment or on a certain place on a pre-made item, these templates will lay right inside the hoop and allow you to get just the right placement and without any extra fuss. So they are a little extra helper for that reason. You do have lines on the hoop to line up with those lines, but sometimes having that extra grid really makes it easy. Now, what comes in this packet? This is a nice little starter pack. So we have a small collection of thread, and one of them, this white one, is bobbin thread. So embroidery thread is actually a certain weight of thread. It is considered a 40 weight thread. It's usually a little shinier, and then bobbin thread is usually a little finer, which is nice because you get more on your bobbin, but it is perfectly balanced with your embroidery thread. So this, you wind up a bunch of bobbins. By the way, it's nice to have a whole extra set of bobbins you just keep wound. And yes, most of the time we work with just white thread in our bobbin. There are times where you'll probably wind some of the colored thread and match the same color that will be in your needle. So you got plenty of options there. You also get a nice pair of curved embroidery scissors. We're going to talk about how you trim your designs. Once the designs are stitched, you need to go back and trim out the stitching between areas. And a curved embroidery scissor is nice. Now, once you get started, you might find or look around for some other styles that fit your hands better, that work with you, and kind of sometimes you probably are going to buy maybe 2 or 3 and find which ones you use the most, but definitely at least you have something to start off with. Also in this packet, I'm going to open this little guy up. We have 2 pieces of fabric and 2 pieces of stabilizer, and this stabilizer is tearaway. So I tore a corner. It's tearaway. That's how I tell. So sometimes when my packages get open, some are cutaway, meaning they don't tear when I rip a corner, but there is some tearaway stabilizer for you to get started and try out your machine. Now there's also this piece. This piece has, it kind of feels like felt, but it's a little bit tacky. And what we can do is we can actually, when we have trouble hooping something that is slippery or very delicate, what we can do is put this in between our hoops and it will grip that fabric and make sure it doesn't slip away. Notice it is cut out for the larger hoop. So that means that sometimes we get some places where it's not always as tight as it could be on those lighter weight fabrics. It'll also help in some places where you might have a nap, and that nap might get crushed a little bit by hooping it all up in the hoop. So that's another place to use it. Another thing you get are these little clips. These clips are designed so when you are working with your fabrics, and once again where you're having that hoop maybe not kind of reach around your project just enough. I'm going to just tighten this up so we can kind of pretend that there's fabric here. And then these clips will actually go right over the edge and position themselves and kind of put the edges together tighter. So usually you can put 1, 2, and 3 right where these little notches are, and then one above and one below the bracket side of your hoop. So those are great, especially when you have some extra thick fabrics. Those can help hold everything together, and then when you're done, they just pop off. So keep those handy. Most people don't know what they are and kind of misplace them. Keep them with your embroidery machine. You might even put them in your accessory box that sits behind your machine when you're sewing, but off when you have the embroidery unit on, just so you know where they are. All right, let's get started into some of the other things such as stabilizer, needles, and hooping.